Good evening, good evening. We are now live. Once again, coming at you. This is the Merv and Stack Show featuring Mark and Tina B. Mark is out tonight, so we got the homie Chris Mo back with us. We can just start it off right now. Chris, how you doing this evening?
Oh man, I'm doing great, man. Just another day at work, ready just to wind down with the fellas and get into what we about to speak on tonight.
True, true. Tina B, what's up? What's good? Tell the people how you doing tonight.
Hey, Stacks, what's going on? I am
I'm good.
here.
How you?
I'm ready to dive into this show. What? Did you say where are you, boy?
No, I say how
Anyway,
you
yeah, I'm
doing.
ready to dive into this show. I thought Merv said something slick. My bad, my
I ain't even
bad.
saying that. I ain't even open my goddamn mouth. You didn't see my fucking mouth move.
All right, last and certainly least, Merv, how are you doing this evening?
I'm pretty fucking fabulous. How the fuck are you?
Uh, I'm doing okay.
Oh, you need a drink,
Despite
don't
all,
you?
despite all the struggles, I'm doing okay. We'd like to apologize, you guys, for coming to you, but 20 minutes late. We had some technical difficulties going on backstage, but we got that fixed now. So what we're going to do is we're going to get right to it. We're going to actually well, Merv, what you drinking? Let's start there.
Yeah, let's start there. No, nigga, what you drinking? You go first, nigga. What you drinking?
I'm drinking Whistle Pig. I've drinking this whole bottle in the last 20 minutes as far as when we were actually supposed to be on.
Piggyback?
So, yeah, that's what I'm
What's
drinking.
that? That's piggyback?
It's a rye whiskey.
Okay,
It's
piggyback.
as I stated before, this isn't really in your frugal price range. Uh, you gotta go out there and look for shit like this, and it's kind of like you ain't gonna find it from a local bootlegger. So yeah,
Okay, so you
what
so
you
you drink
drinking?
so you drinking pork whiskey. Gotcha. Swine. All right. Tina, what you drinking?
From my culture,
Oh, that's that rum
Ray and
shit.
nephew. Yeah, Jamaican rum.
Good evening, Becca.
Lot of mercy.
You said rum?
Um,
Hey, Becca. Lot of mercy.
More Chris, more money, more money, more money.
What's good?
Nigga, what you?
So what I'm drinking?
Yeah.
Well, I guess me and Tina must be family, cause I'm drinking Alberton Estates. It's some Jamaican rum. It's
Oh,
also
I love
made by
Appleton.
Ray and Nephew. Yeah, and I got a little pineapple juice. So yeah, that's you know.
Shout out to my classmate. I absolutely agree. Greetings everybody except for Merv. I support that.
You know what?
Um, Merv, you gonna tell us what you drinking? What kind of cheap liquor? I mean, alcohol you're drinking tonight?
I'm drinking Remy Martin, bitch.
Oh shit! Oh shit! You know what?
That's
Pardon my
my
back.
shit
I'm
too. That's
sorry.
my shit.
I'm
Mm,
sorry. But
mm,
what you really got in the Remy Martin bottle though? I mean, that's
mm.
what the people really want to know. You
Probably,
got some E and
probably
J,
just
some Paul Masson. I mean, what you really got going on? Ain't no cap in here, as the youngsters say. No cap. What you really got now?
nigga. I
Night
still hold
train.
those goddamn bottles. Not anymore. Now in
All
college,
right, fair enough.
I used to do that shit. Let me tell you, we have something like Belvedere in college. We have like 3 bottles of Belvedere, right? And kiss my ass, OTT. Um,
Hey man, don't disrespect
so
viewers. Okay.
OTT.
hey, so now in college I used to do that shit. We have like 5 bottles of Belvedere. We'll run the fuck out, and then we have like we have a party. We invite females over and shit like that, and we'll buy some absolute vodka and pour absolute vodka in the goddamn Belvedere bottles. But that goddamn female was just drinking that shit up, talking about this shit. I love some Belvedere. I'm like, motherfucker, that's absolute you, motherfucker. But you know what? Drink up.
Straight,
Just one more sip.
straight out of the fucking scumbag playbook. I got you. Okay, I feel you.
Oh, shit.
That's a time tradition where you get the Ciroc bottle and you put Takavak in it. I salute you, Merv, for bringing that up. Let's get into it, man. This is a really good movie that we're going into today. It's the Banker, starring Anthony Mackie. He's playing Bernard Garrett in this movie. Nia Long is his wife. She's playing Eunice Garrett. Samuel Jackson. He is playing Joe Morris. And what this plot really surrounds is two brothers, titans of industry, I like to call them, who are starting a real estate investment business, and they decided to dabble into owning banks. Their goal in owning these banks was to help Black people build wealth in the 60s. Well, I mean, I guess before the 60s. But yeah, let's deep dive into it as the movie really begins. It begins with the end. I think it was in 1965 when Bernard Mackie was sitting before a congressional hearing, and the senator from Arkansas wanted him to testify regarding lax banking regulations that allow people to, make massive amounts of money via bank loans. What I got from him, it was normal practice. They didn't do anything illegal, but the only thing that was illegal in the eyes of the senator from Arkansas was that two brothers had used the system to their advantage. Go ahead, Merv.
All right, so let me ask y'all a question. Tina. So I think everybody here's in their 30s. How long you been in the corporate world, Tina? Just roughly, not exact. I mean, roughly 10 years plus.
Corporate?
Have you ever been in corporate world?
15 years.
Oh, 15. Chris.
Yeah, I probably been in the corporate realm probably about, well, it was broken up, but like 10 years.
10 plus years. All right. Stacks, how long you been in the corporate world?
Going on 4 years, because I think everybody here knows that before that, I spent 20 years in the military. So yeah, all 4 years. Cool. Going on 4 years in September.
All right. So I've been I'm in corporate world about 15 years plus. Tim, let me ask you a question. How many voices do you have?
How many voices do I have?
Yeah, I see where you're going, and I like it. I see where you're taking this, and I like
it. How many voices you got?
Can you elaborate?
How many voices you got while at work?
One strong ass voice.
All right, cool. Mo Chris, how many voices you got while at work?
Man, I got about definitely 3.
Stacks.
2.
I think I already know your answer. How many voices you got? How many voices you got at work?
Well, in my new role, I think I only have 1, but in my old role where I was managing temps and recruiting, I would say I had 2, because most of the temps that we managed were, I'd say, 96% Black. And I think it's very important to speak people's language in the corporate world, whether it's dealing with, lower level, like low wage employees, are you dealing with your peers, So that's why I say 2. Back
Okay.
then, 1 now.
All right. Same here. I got at least 2 voices. I got probably between 2 to 4. Like in the corporate world, you got to damn be a chameleon sometimes based on your surroundings. It's almost like it's called playing the game. All right. And these 2 brothers in the 60s played the game that shit, they play a game probably better than somebody in 2020, 2019 could. And this is back in the racial days, the Jim Crow era, the game they played. Now, when I say voice, let me elaborate. Have you ever heard somebody talk? Have you ever called somebody, call a job, maybe your cell phone company or whatnot, and somebody answered the phone? You talk to them, there's an appointment. You go down and see that motherfucker, and you be like, "Damn, you black?" That ain't never happened to nobody.
Well, I have a no, not necessarily, and I know what you're talking about though. I kind of hate that because I hate when people say you don't like there's a term that's used in the hood, like you don't act black, which I think is bullshit because I don't think that white people own the market, corner the market on being professional, talking, like speaking proper English and things of that nature. But I know exactly what you're getting at because I have a voice when I work. I'm like, my name is Hyson, and right now I'm calling you in regard to this position that you applied for. What I'd like to do is go over these pre-screening questions in your resume. The position that you're applying for requires this, that, and the third. Hopefully by the end of this call, we can put you we can start the hiring process. Do you have any questions? So that voice is totally different from back on EAV growing up in Georgetown, South Carolina. And like you said, Merv, it is a game that you have to play. Now at the same time, it's kind of like Becca put this comment up, whereas she said she hates the corporate world because politics irk her, and she's right because it's like you have to portray yourself in a certain way in order to make others comfortable. It's fucked up to say it like that, but I think that's what it is.
It's very fucked up, man. It's almost
that's
like
that's not right. I like that. That's hot. I like that, Chris. Right on the fly too. I like that. That's hot. I like that too. I remember I had to interrupt with that. I like how you just come up with that out the blue. I like that. You know nothing about that. That's how Chris Mo get down. Y'all know shit about that.
No, this is what I'm talking about is the 2020 is the new age version of what these brothers had to do back then, and it's almost like they consider talking professional in a professional manner. It's almost like they consider it talking white. So if you talking professional and using your mannerisms and you talking proper, people quick to say, "Oh man, why are you trying to talk like you white?" Basically,
well,
go ahead.
Well, Merv, let me add to that real quick because I think it's very important that our viewers know, and I think it's very important that Tina and Chris Mo know. Chris Mo and Tina, when I retired from the military, do y'all know how I learned to navigate in the corporate world, and who actually taught me how to navigate making the transition from the military to the corporate world? Y'all want to take a guess?
I want to say your parents. I don't know.
I know that the viewers I wanted to say that to add shock value to this, but it's this ignorant motherfucker to my right that's above y'all. He actually helped me tremendously make it. Believe it or not, viewers, I know it's a shock. But he actually helped me tremendously with my transition from the military to the corporate world because I was totally lost. When I was in the military, I was the what they call big SARS. Like if I said something, it was going to happen, and I didn't care how I said it. That's just how I said it, and it was always. And Sean will tell you, when you're in the military, you are taught to be aggressive when you literally barking out orders, and they gotta do that shit. I wasn't. I knew I wasn't going to work in the corporate world, but at the same time, Merv really helped me tremendously as far as saying, "Hey, man, first of all, you got to tone some of that army shit down. Almost to you got to kind of like be a different person."
Hold on, Stacks. Hold on.
Like
You said Merv told you need to tone
yeah.
down? Merv said that?
Hey! I know the viewers are absolutely and totally dumbfounded right now, but yes, he taught me how to navigate into the corporate world when I was making my transition to the military. As far as what to do, as far as because you go through transition and stuff, they give you training in the military, but there's no better teacher than somebody that's been navigating the corporate world for years. So down to like telling me what suit to buy, what ties to wear to interviews, and how to talk at these interviews. It was all him. I'm gonna give him his flowers. I mean, he's ignorant as fuck. I mean, we all know that, but I think we got to give him. I think we have to give him. I know y'all shocked right now, Tina. I know Tina and Chris. I know that you guys are shocked right now, but these are the facts. I have to give his ignorant ass credit.
Well, I guess all that faking actually worked out for Merv, I guess. No, I'm just messing with him.
But
that
fake it till you make it.
Well, I actually worked. I was in banking. Can you believe it? Me. But I was actually a teller in banking, and believe it or not, even though I'm not even gonna say even, I did dress nice, but I didn't dress like your average bank teller. The normal colors are like blue, navy blue, black, gray. I was colorful. My hair was red. Oh. My nails were still long. But I know it sounds crazy, right? But
you had the nose ring too?
No. But this I could hide this. So it could flip upside down actually. That's why that's one of my favorite piercings. To the point where it looks like it's not there. But anyway, shut up, Merv. I'll tell you later. But anyway.
We know you, bro. Just continue, Tina. Let's keep going.
Yes, I was a bank teller.
We don't want to get this thing off the rails here.
And I was a bank teller for Wells Fargo, and the manager of that location stated that I was so vibrant and my look was very appealing to the customers that he moved my seat from the end to the very front of the line, because I drew in customers because of like how I did my makeup and things like that. And it's like I always matched, and I was really colorful and stuff. It was weird, but I took it in. The customers loved it. So, I mean, I guess it worked for me. And then as far as, I do security, but it's still in corporate. We're dealing with doctors and all those other stuff. And I have to speak with all the doctors and CEOs and nurse management every morning for our huddle, our daily huddles or whatever. But guess what? I am the supervisor of 20 men. So my personality or the voice, the way I'm talking to you now is just, it's the same way I talk. It's just without the cursing. I still have to have that tough mentality, a strong voice. The way I speak, it has to come off strong because I'm short and I'm a female dealing with grown men that are older than me. And it's like, who is this female that came in here, and we got to take, directions from her. But so, I deal with that as a woman.
True. So I brought that up because is you hear that a lot in the corporate world when someone's talking professional. A lot of people say you talking white, or if you deal with the corporate politics where you try to develop good relationships. with certain people. You have people that say, "Well, I'm about to kiss nobody's ass to move up in a position," and it's not talking white. It's not kissing ass. It's like, yo, when you get in the game, you figure out what the rules are to the game, and you become good at the fucking rules, so you get in a position of power or influence where you don't have to follow the damn rules. And that's what these and that's what these brothers did. And so when what's God damn, I had Joe
Bernard
so,
Garrett
yeah, so
or Joe Harris, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Joe
Yeah.
and other one name. Damn, I had got my brain fog.
Bernard Garrett, played
Bernard,
by
yeah.
Anthony Mackie.
So Barrett was that he was smart. He had the business savvy, but it Joe they had good contrast. Joe was that motherfucker who like, hey, you can't trust these motherfuckers. You know, he got a quote on there. It was like, yeah, you don't trust nobody. Like, yeah, I don't trust white people. Like, how you wake up like that? He said, truth be told, I don't trust black people neither. So, when Barrett was trying to go around buy houses, buy buildings, try to get loans and stuff like that, he even moved to California, away from Texas, and they was giving him a hard time because he was black. I don't know if y'all remember, it was a scene where he walked in to get a loan, and somebody said, "Damn, he's a good dressed up one right there." You know what I'm saying? Just like it was a stereotype, and it was like,
yeah, I peeped that.
You heard that? You heard that one?
I think he said, "Do you see what just walked in?"
Yeah,
right.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I'm not even gonna lie to you. A lot of the stuff that I saw in movies like this, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I saw, it really pissed me off. It was very, I mean, overall, it was very inspiring too, because those brothers did what it had to take. I mean, they literally had to, in order to participate in business in a world in the Jim Crow era, because I mean, this man literally had to move out west to get away from Jim Crow, and even moving out west. I mean, these guys literally had to put on disguises and stuff like that, and get a front man. Matt Steiner, played by Nicholas Holte, Holt, or however you pronounce his last name.
They had to get
had to get his.
A white.
Yeah, they actually had to get a white front man. Now, really quick, I don't want to get too far ahead, but what really impressed me is, and this happens a lot in sports as well, Merv, how they say that I think it's really starting to begin to change, especially in the NFL, where the quarterback position, they say quarterbacks are leaders. Back in the day, you used to say, well, black. They would always, not trust black quarterbacks because it was always a leadership thing. And you got these two black titans of business that literally taught this, that had to teach a white guy how to operate in the business world. And that was very vital, because even with all their knowledge and all the money that they had, at the end of the day, they were still black. And they were smart enough to know that we can still do this. We just need somebody to represent us, to be our front white guy. Because like Samuel L. Jackson said, so we got to pay him even more money to be white.
Just to be white, you're right.
Yeah, and he learned that because he wasn't on any paperwork with the first white man that he did business with that passed away.
Now, to my point, and I think I left that open-ended. That shows the leadership of Bernard Garrett and Joe Morris. Then being able to lead that guy and coach him from somebody that doesn't know anything about math, really doesn't know anything about business. They turned him into a whole beast, but it was actually them speaking through him.
Right. And you got, and I wonder, like, how many other black people, even today, would have used that method of using a white guy to get their business, or if they would have had too much pride or too much ego, or be like,
everybody, everybody, all them.
Nah, I can't say that too easily.
Hold on. All them inventors back in the day, there was a black man behind them. There was a black man that created things, and the white man, the white man was posted as he's the one who did it.
No, Tina, no. You misunderstood. I think you misunderstood what I was asking. What I was asking is, I wonder how many black people would have been willing to take that role of having a white guy represent them to get to where they try to get, or they would have had too much pride.
Well, Merv, I got an answer for that.
A lot would have.
You think so?
I don't. You talking about back then? Well, for one, I would say I would.
Choice?
Well, no, and here's what the pitfalls in this was.
Back then and now.
Well, for this era, I don't think it's really needed like that. But back then, there were some pitfalls simply because not only did you have to find a white guy, you had to find one that you trust and one that wasn't racist and didn't think that he was superior to the black guys. They just happened to find the right white guy, and Bernard picked up on that early when that guy was working for him for what, $1.50 an hour, and the guy looked at him, he's like, "Do you have a problem with working for me?" And Matt Steiner looked at him like, "I work for men. I work for men like my entire life." Now my thing is, I'm going to give Matt Steiner a lot of credit for that because he didn't see Bernard as a black man. He saw him as his boss, who he was working for, a business owner who he was working for, who he could learn from. And he said immediately, and when Bernard asked him the question again, he said, "Well, green is the only money that matters. I mean, the only color that matters to me." And I think it's cool that you're starting a business because I'd like to learn and do that again one day. I think that's when that trust factor. So I say that to say this: finding a guy like that back then, they were few and far between.
Yeah.
You know, and also the movie with regards to Matt, that it shows the classism too. So it's racism, you had classism too. And one scene that that I want to educate people on, remember, it wasn't Matt though, but remember the older white lady at the beginning of the movie where she thought that Bernard was the help instead of he was
one of the tenants. Yep.
Right. And so remember she said the owner, and how she said she don't trust that Mick either. Now,
and for those of you who don't know what a Mick is the derogatory racist term for an Irish person.
For an Irish person. Exactly. Matter of fact, I first found that out. We had a guy on my ship when I was in the Navy. His last name was Mick. And he was Irish. And then I was like, hey, but ain't that derogatory? But his family was kind of like, remember with the other movie, like when they was like in Godfather, when they came over, they named the people after like, oh, you from Corleone. Okay, Corleone. And he became Corleone. Same thing. They was like, oh, he's an Irishman. They was naming him Mick. And some of them carried that name down. So that's how I learned about the name. Wasn't trying to get too far off. But I just wanted to pinpoint that even within the dominant society, they had classism and socialism, even amongst other white people too, which clearly showed it in the banker.
Yeah, she moved. She moved out of the residence just because.
Well, Merv, let's talk. Let's unpack that whole scene there for a second because it started when he was working. She thought he was a help, and she was pretty much. It's clear that she did not like. And I'm not just going to say black people. I'm just going to say anybody that wasn't like full-blooded American white. Yeah, non-white people. She clearly wasn't fucking with because she pretty much saying, "I know you here working, but your ass gotta what time you gotta leave here?" And when he said, "Yeah, Mister I forgot the guy's name," made it very clear when I bought the building, and she said, "Don't you sass me, boy." And I'm thinking to myself like, "Oh wow!" And everybody know, Merv. What is boy? What is boy?
Oh yeah, a very derogatory,
A white racist
black
word.
male.
And like Michael said on Good Time. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Tina B. She said, "Don't you sass me, boy." So I ain't gonna lie. In that minute, I'm gonna go off base for it. But I was thinking to myself. Go ahead.
You know what pissed me off? When she called the cops. That pissed me off.
And said, "We got somebody impersonating the owner." And he pull out. He said, "It's filed downtown, but I keep a copy on me to be on the safe side. Here you go, officer."
Facts.
And this motherfucker acting like he was just given a counterfeit $100 bill, and this motherfucker said, "Damn,
shit look real."
It looks real. And after that, he didn't have shit because he couldn't say shit except, "Well, be more respectful to your tenants." What? For being an owner. Shit is crazy. Like they had one thing, the writer of this movie did a beautiful job of showing racism in this movie, but they did it in a very light way. You know what I'm saying? They showed the racism. A couple of shows kind of comical of how they written the movie. So they showed the racism they had to deal with and the classism, but they wrote the movie in a very lighthearted way. And it doesn't help. It does help when you add Samuel Jackson in this goddamn movie, and he kills his fucking character again. He kills his fucking character again. Because goddamn Joe, when they first introduced, it was like, he said, "Let me get a drink. Hopefully, we can help get the stick out of his ass." That was the first time meeting this nigga.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was the first time meeting this nigga.
Well, Merv, what I could appreciate about that part is you had a lot of black people that lived in the South, a lot of black families during that time that would migrate not only to the north, but they would migrate out to the west to get away from Jim Crow. So he was out there living his best life out there in California. He had a club and he had 12 other properties. His mother was a real estate agent. So he was out there living his best life. Bernard kind of took him out of his comfort zone, when he decided, "Hey, fuck this, man. We good at this. We good at this real estate shit. Of course we could do this. Motherfucker, let's buy banks." And I thought that
nigga bought a bank out of like, "Oh, y'all still trying to hold me down as a nigga. Y'all still look at me as a nigga, and somebody's below y'all. You know what? Let me show you. Y'all looking for nigga? Let me show you what this nigga gonna do."
And Merv, it was an absolute motherfucker. And it was an absolute power move because they didn't buy the bank originally. They bought the building that all the banks were housed in because he, like you say, he couldn't get in the front door. So they used Matt as the front guy. They taught him everything and they ended up buying the building that all the banks are housed in. And it gave me unspeakable joy when they walked into that motherfucker and they walked past the dude that wouldn't even give him a fucking appointment or see him and shit like that. And dude looked up like, "Hold on, what the fuck is going on here?" And I think it speaks to even those successful businessmen back in the 50s and 60s, even though we had black successful businessmen, you still had to cut corners and maneuver your way to get shit done. I mean, that's just the way it was.
Yeah, exactly.
But this, like, Barrett was ahead of his time, man. Like in the beginning, when he was like, looked like he's probably about 12, 13 years old. He would shoe shine at a bank for one reason, just to learn bank terminology, bank methods, finance methods, and then he would sneak up on the window just to overhear the conversation to teach himself about finances and banking and how to make money like the white people. And then his dad give him that news like, son, you was born the wrong color. They're not gonna let that go down. No matter how good you are, the white people ain't gonna let you make money like they make money in Texas. And that's what it was like, well, maybe I have to go somewhere else. And I seen him going to LA when about 15 years
Well,
later,
Merv,
ended up moving to LA to make his money.
Merv, let's back up just a little bit, and I wanna talk about our people because we are bad. We are just as bad as and I think it so happens today we are just as bad as the white people that's trying to put up barriers because it started off with you had the black cop who's like I don't think he wasn't a cop, of course. He was some type of security type guy. He's like, you trying to spy on these white people's business and stuff like that. And you had even Bernard's daddy to an extent telling him. And back then people got to realize, like his dad told him, I've seen kids your age get hanged for less when I was little. Like not go to jail, not get your ass whooped, but get killed for trying to learn. And he said himself, I just want to learn. I just want to see how they make money. He didn't want to steal. He didn't want to, do anything nefarious, but he just wanted to learn. And his dad told him, like, this is Texas, son. We in Jim Crow Texas. You was born the wrong color, and they ain't gonna let no black man make no money like that. And that's what this kid was smart enough at that age. She's like, maybe not in Texas. And mind you, when he became a grown man, the first thing he did, and he saved his money. We know he had a lot of money because he had enough money when he got to California to start buying buildings. Of course, he ran into his wife's uncle. And man, talk about a hater and limiting yourself. This dude was like, well, they got an assembly line, and I'll get you an interview there tomorrow. They hiring our people. We need to normalize rooting for our own and rooting for our people to take chances and betting on themselves rather than working to make somebody else money. And he literally.
And the rise of that, when dude left, he asked his wife, "What your husband got? What your husband got against working?"
Got against working.
Dude didn't say dude say he just want to be. He's gonna buy some businesses and rent it out.
And Merv, that's why I can kind of respect what you do, in the business world and things of that nature. Simply because people act like there's a law out there that says you have to work for someone. You got a lot of people that have their own businesses and side businesses, no matter how big or how small. Having your own shit is always going to trump working and making money for somebody else. We live in a society. We live in a capitalism society, right? And during those times, we was just trying to get our feet in the door. Nowadays, when we start our businesses and stuff, that's why it's very important to support each other and to champion each other and to cheer each other on when people are starting their businesses, because his uncle, that dude was an absolute hater. He was already thinking the worst. You want to spend up all your money, and he was like, "You're gonna have your rent in advance on the first of the month."
Right, but you know what? Is I don't know if I could.
He was ahead of his time.
Do we call his uncle? He was ahead of his time. But do we call his uncle a hater, or do we call his
my bad?
The normal? It seems like that seems like the normal African American thinking. Like for example, there's a meme that I saw on Facebook. All right, it's two pictures and one meme. The top picture shows somebody posting, I just got a new job," and they have like 100 hearts, 25 comments. Hearts mean people is liking their status. Somebody you just got a brand new job working for whoever. You get a lot of likes. Congratulations. If you post, I just started a business, and in this meme it said at the bottom picture said, I just started a business. It was 13 hearts, one comment. And if you pay attention, start looking at shit on Facebook, people that say I just got a promotion or a new job get way more congratulations and likes than if you post on there I just started a business. And that shit that scene happened in 1954. This is 2021, and that shit's still happening today. And it's like if you trying to do something that somebody is scared to do, or they can't see themselves trying to do it, or it seems not able to be done, instead of encouraging, is like it's the opposite.
Ridicule.
Especially
Yeah, and a whole lot of
with us.
ridicule.
Especially with us.
It is. I have my whole makeup line or whatever. I do makeup as a side hustle, but I eventually want that to be my own business or whatever. And I'll post makeup and everything, and I'll probably get 5 likes. But let me post some meme. It could be a dumbass meme, and that shit will get 40 something likes. It's just crazy.
Right.
It's crazy. It's like, and then you got people that's like I don't get it. I'll never understand it. Oh, if somebody got 1,000, 2,000 followers, you're gonna go follow that person. Their makeup could look horrible, but y'all gonna be on that wave, sharing, resharing, all this other shit. But here's somebody you know that probably does way more better work than that person, and I gotta ask you to share my shit. Like that's just crazy, man. It's like
Tina,
a popularity contest.
Tina, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, because we're conditioned to be in competition with each other. And it usually be the people that you know most that's going to be less likely to support your business endeavors. That's from what that's basically my take on it. That's what I see. I mean, I don't have any businesses, so I aspire to, own a business one day. I talk to Merv about it all the time. And he tell me, man, you like barbecuing and shit like that. So you get a food truck and shit like that. That's going to eventually happen one day when I have the right motivation. I need to get up off my ass and do that. But you will see, once you put your information out there that you got a new business, most of your support is going to come from people that you don't particularly know.
It's going to come
from strangers.
I can tell you
because we have that mentality, Tina. I wouldn't say all of us, but some people will really look at it and be like, okay, she's providing a service, but I mean, why would I make her rich? Which is crazy, because it's the thing. You can go across, like, let's just say you have a store or whatever. You have your business, right? That's convenient. It's right there in the hood or where you stay at, right? You have some people, just so they can't support you, they will go across town and give their money for the same service to a non-black person. That's crazy to me. That's wow. And that's simply because mugs will literally think in their head, I'm not gonna make them rich, like, but you go over there and make, the Arab rich. You go over there and make the white man rich and things of that nature.
That's
right. Like, okay, typically I charge $85. Why do I charge $85? I'm buying the product, okay, to supply for you. I'm traveling to your house, or I'm even letting you come to my house. But most of the time, I'm traveling to you. I do way more face prepping than if you go to the Mac store. But guess what? Mac charges $50. So by the time you get in your car, drive to the mall to get to Mac, spend $50, and then you gotta buy the product. That's how you're getting your face done at Mac. That's their whole gimmick. You gotta make a sale in order to get your face done. So the products they use on your face is the products you have to buy. Now you don't spend $50 on products to get your face done, and you don't even know how to do your own makeup. So those products just gonna be sitting in your house, waste of money. Okay, and that doesn't even include lashes or anything else like that. They don't bake, which is the look that everybody wants to go for right now, which is like this with that highlighting look or whatever. So it's like, oh, $85, that's too much money. That's too much. I mean, if you drive to the Mac store at the mall, you about to spend way more than $85. Eventually, you think you're just gonna go to the mall, get your makeup done, and leave? No, now you're probably spending money somewhere else in another store and all this other shit. Like, I'll never understand it, but I know this: when I make it,
and they want a discount.
Motherfuckers better not come to ask me for no motherfucking discount.
And they want a discount. Believe that.
So yeah, it's definitely like that. You'll get more support. You get more business from strangers. When you, because I got about, my main business is insurance, and when I first got in the insurance business, it was told to me, your family and friends are not going to buy from you until later on, until you're in the business for probably at least a year, maybe two, before your family or friends start buying from you. But yeah, you're definitely gonna get more support from the strangers. I have no idea why. Like, if you post them on Facebook, it'll be the people that you met through Facebook or associates that you're not really close to, like that you can't call on the phone, will share your business more than family and friends will. It's just one of the things. I have no idea why, but like, I do feel like you will hear. I ain't trying to make that person rich. Like, I think Jay-Z responded to people commenting, talking about they don't want to get title. Jay-Z owns title. Is a stream of music. People will say how Jay-Z got enough money. I'm not about to get title too, but you got Spotify.
That's crazy, ain't it? That is crazy, ain't it?
You got Apple Music. You got all those other streams. Do you know most of them motherfuckers got more? Apple Music is basically Steve Jobs. Jay-Z didn't have Steve Jobs money, but you was okay. But black people was okay giving money to them. It's crazy. Like,
he made a rap about that. It was like, but you still got that iPhone or something. Yeah, he made a rap like that. It was hot. You know, Sean, it was hot.
So, I think it's like I said, like it's one of the things like we were talking about before, Tina. Like, it's one of them crab mentalities and competition mentalities that's been passed down for decades upon decades. You know, and that, like, and it's still here now, because, for example, when athletes retire, or when they get close to retirement, they only think about like, they don't think about like management. So like the white athletes a lot of times is trying to develop relationships with the upper management. They're trying to become a coach. They're trying to become a general manager. They're trying to figure out how to become a business owner in the professional. It's more of a mentality thing that we gotta get over. You know, because we definitely need more of our own businesses. And it's almost like we had that mentality more. We had more of that mentality back then, because we had Black Wall Street. We had a lot. I think we had a lot more black-owned businesses that we supported one another back then than we do now, as far as like having black businesses and support one another. But like, so back to the movie. They figured out a way to buy. They figured out a way to buy these businesses. They found a young white guy, taught them how to play golf, taught them how to do the finance, do the equations. Eunice was teaching motherfucker table manners, like the salad fork, the dinner fork, how to set up the table, how to eat a crab, how to eat seafood, etiquette, to the whole
How to eat
fucking
crabs?
etiquette.
That was crazy.
How to eat crabs. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
That shit was taught by two black guys and the wife. Now, what happened was, well, Mr. Mother's going to Texas because Texas so goddamn rich. Shit. If the motherfucker ever bought that bank in Texas, niggas would died millionaires and been making money upon money upon, probably would end up owning half of fucking LA. Because at the end of the movie, they said it had at one point owned 177 buildings, with 100 of the buildings having 100 residents in the apartments. 100 separate residents, 100 separate apartments inside one building.
And Merv, with that being said, I know a lot of people will probably look at Bernard Garrett as overly ambitious, but he was trying to do what everybody tries to do when they have a business. If they don't live in their hometown, they eventually want to bring something back home and put people on, because Bernard Garrett wasn't about himself. Once he bought that first bank in Texas, he got all the black business leaders in that area together and say, look, our goal here is to build wealth and to give loans with the purpose of building wealth for our people. And say we got to keep this shit on the low, because if it's found out, people ain't really gonna be down with this shit. And you saw the success stories of the one business owner. He said, yeah, that loan that you gave me, I was able to, get some more equipment, and I like doubled my profit and stuff like that. And I saw the look on Bernard's face. It was that look of satisfaction. And I think that's wonderful, because it wasn't about him. It was about uplifting his people. You know what I'm saying? And that was just so amazing, because you saw that as well when he got arrested. He didn't make it about them. He was like, oh, I get it. It's okay for a black man to make money. But when he starts, putting other black people on, that's where the problem lies. And
Yep.
and y'all notice that when they got caught up, I wouldn't say caught up because they didn't do anything illegal. Matt Steiner got fired and got kicked out of the bank. They shut down the bank.
Yeah.
Joe Morris and Bernard Garrett got fucking knocked. They got arrested. They got arrested. I'm like, wow.
White people don't get arrested; they get it transferred.
Hold on, let me rewind. Let me rewind on right there where Stacks was talking about, because the corrupt part of this movie was Matt. As good as a person that he was trying to be or came off to be, he did something illegal. He is the one that did something illegal. And what he did to transfer with the whole bank thing, it was illegal.
Yeah.
He thought it would be done and had it be covered up before the inspection was supposed to come. He did something illegal, but he pinned it on the two black men. He pinned it on them because he didn't want to do the 50 years.
Hold on, What happened was he used the lawyer to look at the paperwork from Florence, the racist motherfucker. I don't think Matt did anything. Matt got ambitious when he started running. Of course, he wanted to be his own.
He did what you said with talking to the guy, the enemy, to get the attorney that messed up the papers on purpose, that hid information inside of the packet rather than on the first page. But when that happened, he tried to fix it. After that pop-up inspector came to his personal bank, he shifted some things around illegally, thinking that it would get transferred before everything came out, and it didn't. That's why they were so mad. And he didn't tell them until after the fact what he did.
That's correct, but
watch it again.
No, that's correct, but that's not a.
I think that was due to his lack of experience, and he was overzealous.
See, Matt's problem was he started listening to white
due to
people.
the lack of his experience.
And his wife had some racist tendencies in her.
Hold up.
Hold on.
Let Tina go. Let Tina go. Go ahead.
From a woman's
Go ahead.
From a woman's perspective, because you know y'all not a lot of people
talk
really
to him.
pay attention to how the woman could be evil. The woman could be evil. Look at the evil women, and the old lady was evil. His wife, Matt's wife, is the one who got.
I couldn't stand. Oh my God.
She is the
reason. Hey, yo.
He wanted to own.
They didn't make Nia Long evil.
She was the only good one.
Woman. So,
hey, but Tina,
most of the time in these movies, it's always when it deals with race, it's always the white wife that's getting into her husband's head. It's always like that.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the guy that died, because it had a 50-50 deal. When he died, she was like, "Fuck that! I'm paying you pennies on the dollars. We ain't got no deal or nothing like that. Fuck what he said. He dead.
Oh yeah, you that part. Yeah.
Or fucking leave it." Yes. She said, "I don't want to do She said, "I don't want to do business with. I don't want to keep the current arrangement." Just say what you're gonna say. I mean, you don't want to do business with a nigga. That's what you was gonna say. But you're absolutely right. And this fucking wife, there's some shit that really rubbed me the wrong way because I thought the bitch was on the up and up. Before she said, "Well, they're lucky to have you," and he was like, "Well, you know, I'm grateful. They're my friends, and they taught me, you know, so much." She was like, "Well, they can't possibly be smarter than you," and that's how a lot of white people thought during those times. Like, hold on, you're trying to say that these black guys are actually smarter than you? That's exactly what the fuck he was saying. He checked that ass. He told her, "Don't talk like that. Do not talk like that," because she wanted this motherfucker to buy this bank, that bank. Like, she got the Texas and talking about, "Well, I'm not happy." She changed her whole tune when he was like, "Well, I'm gonna get them to buy me a bank." And she's like, "Oh, okay, so you will be an owner? I'm fine. I need to go do some research because I hope you drop that bitch. I don't like her at all."
You know, and they
let me tell you something. Go ahead, Chris.
Now I would say they also would have got away with it if when they bought that second bank and he listened to, you know how he was the president of the other bank and that dude had to work under him. He listened to him about some bad mortgage loan.
That was
the downfall right there.
That's why I want to talk about
Florence.
It wasn't,
but he started it. Go ahead, Merv.
It really wasn't Matt. All right, it was the vice president.
The vice president's son. Yeah,
Florence. And I'm gonna take Merv. Really quick.
Hold on. Even though, go ahead, Stack.
Florence, when Florence told him, "You approved all these loans, you know, and who you find these people at?" That's when Florence started to investigate, and Florence played the long racist white game, is what I call it, simply because Florence like, "All right, I'm gonna let y'all operate. Now I know who the brains is behind the operation. I'm gonna go ahead and manipulate this guy, even though he's white, because he's not the brains behind the organization. So I can act like I'm giving him sound advice by introducing him to this fucking shady lawyer, and I will sink them all." And I think that was eventually their downfall. That's why me personally, I don't think that Matt Steiner ever had any ill intentions or ill will to get at Bernard or Joe. I just think he got a little overzealous, and his wife was putting the pressure on him to become bigger than what he really was.
And I don't even think he got. I can't.
Okay, that whole thing. What Stacks just said about Florence is correct. But still, if it was, even when Florence found out, they still had it under control to an extent. The reason why it got out of control is because Matt listened to his wife after he lied to her and said, we about to get another bank and it's going to be my bank. And that's when I'm going to be partner. So he had to prove to his wife, and he convinced them to get another bank. That's where
I see what you're saying.
started.
I see what you're saying. You're right. You're right because you're right. And Merv, I'm gonna tell you why Tina. I'm gonna tell you why Tina kind of sort of right, because one bank was enough for Bernard and Joe. That was enough. One bank in Texas. Oh, we got one. We don't need to fuck with no two, especially after Florence find out all this shit. But with the pressure from Matt's wife, he was saying, you know what, the fix to this is buy another bank so we can but the thing is, he was trying to help, but at the same time, he was trying to please two masters, his wife, and he was trying to fix what he thought was doing, fixing Joe and Bernard's problem with the first bank. That's what I think.
See, what happened was they moved to Texas. His wife changed up when she got around them white people in Texas, and they said, like, hold up,
we're above
the niggers. We're above the niggers. What are you doing? You should be owning this motherfucker.
Yeah,
so you smarter, you know.
Yeah, in a lot of slavery movies, y'all, the white wife looked like she just a housewife and she's staying in the back, but she be that one manipulating and getting into her husband's head. Like the white women are the most evil. They are the ones that's the evil ones. Y'all think it's the men because they the face front one, but it be them women in the back of in the back of their ear like this. Pressuring them. You need to do this. You gonna let somebody talk to you like that? You gonna let that nigga do this to you? What? Come on, bro. It's the little things. Remember that movie? It's the little things.
We thought the sisters was crazy.
Trigger big.
I remember that. I remember that movie.
I agree. I agree with everything y'all saying about the background being a woman, but I don't think she was the ultimate cause on why it went wrong. He always wanted to be a business owner. He's like, that's the main reason why he started working.
Merv.
And he
always wanted to be a business owner, but he was willing to wait.
Yeah, they had it in writing. Wait till I finish, because just hold up. They had it in writing. They agreed with him that on the third for the next bank, he would be the owner of that. So he said that they had it in writing. If Florence don't interfere, none of that other stuff happens. It wasn't the overzealous that fucked him up. It was him trusting Florence. Because we also gotta remember, this motherfucker is young. Like he's I know he's like 10 years. I think he's at least 10 years younger than Florence. So he's younger than everybody there. So Florence was the one that manipulated him, got him to trust him. Give him the wrong lawyer. Florence said they had an anonymous phone call to the Secretary of Funds for the bank. I'm pretty sure an anonymous phone call came from Florence. The FBI popping up on the new bank came from Florence because he started paying attention. So if there's no Florence,
I hear you.
If it's no Florence,
I hear you. But we're gonna have to agree. We're gonna have to agree to disagree, because Florence finished it off. No doubt, he did that shit. But yes, the two men said when we get the next bank. Hold on, when we get the next bank, you're gonna be partner. This and the third. But Matt was willing to wait patiently. It's because it's timing. He even said that shit. He said, I forgot what his name is. The what's the black dude with the glasses? I'm sorry.
Bernard.
But he said now is not the right time. You're gonna get where we're gonna get you. You're gonna be partner. We're gonna get another bank, but now is not the right time. His wife got into his head and pushed him to push the time forward, to push everything faster. Had Matt not gone to his wife and waited like he'd been waiting, that wouldn't have happened.
I'm gonna take it
at the same time, if he don't confide in the Florence about anything, that bank doesn't even get in trouble because he didn't call Keith. Joe gave him a number to a lawyer to contact. You contact that lawyer,
Merv.
But Merv, Florence happened after his conversation with his wife. So the trigger was the wife. Florence just finished him
Hey,
off. Period.
Hey, Merv, Merv, real quick.
God damn.
Real quick, and I'm going to make an argument for what Tina said. None of this original.
Tina said.
No, I got one more that we.
I'm just trying to read.
No, I got one more that we didn't mention because I just remembered. None of this happens. Bernard or Joe doesn't get their front man without the wife, and I'm gonna tell you why. Before they even,
when it was just a girlfriend trying to press him and sit down as a waitress. Yeah. He
wasn't sure he was going to even do that shit, but he talked to her, and immediately after he talked to her, he said, "I'm in."
But he was just trying to get some pussy. Then he just wanted to.
He also fronted his wallet too, talking about I got this new gig.
And I'll be able to back her ass up. But if he never asked.
Do y'all see that shit? This is what everybody. These movies are. It's like a blind side. Like when you driving and you got a blind spot, and the blind spot are these women. These women played a big part, but because they weren't the front, they weren't the major part of the movie. People don't pay attention to that shit. But they are in their ear, in the background, and they getting in these people's head. Women are the root of all evil. Y'all know that saying?
Y'all know another key part?
Like that's just about every downfall of a civilization has been because of women. Like goddamn, what's that movie with 300? Not 300. Troy.
Yeah.
The movie Troy.
Yeah, Troy. Yeah.
Troy, goddamn, one of the most powerful motherfucking civilizations in the world. Got brought down because of a woman.
Yeah, World War I was started behind a woman.
It's the power of the pussy, and the power of getting a woman. That's what black people. That's what white people just. That's just a part of pussy. That's part of the influence of a woman. Okay. Now, if he don't trust, if he just call that lawyer instead of goddamn following up Florence, this don't happen.
And another key part, which goes back to the argument with Florence and them, if they would have never bought the second bank. Remember when they first got introduced to Florence, when he came over to their house and be like, "Hey, I got you." And then Bernard, what did Bernard told him? He said, "Hey, your dad already knew about me. He already looked us up. He already knew about us when that table, like it made him realize your dad was all cool about it. You didn't know." So that would have been a good way to also, they could have controlled Florence. But once they bought the second bank, Florence had a way in to manipulate it. If he would have stayed at that bank, he would have got fired. He would eventually quit because he wasn't going to work at his supposed to be his bride and joy, his bank that his daddy didn't give to him. So.
Right? Okay, Mo Chris, you right. Because guess what? Now that shows that Florence had daddy issues. His father did not trust him to be the head of the bank. So he sold it to some black men. And he knew about it. And he felt betrayed by his father because he didn't get the bank. And his daddy sold it to some black men. And he been in there all his life. But clearly your dad see the wickedness in your ass, which is why he didn't want to give you the shit.
Hey, hold on. Let's pivot. We're going to talk about Florence a little bit too long. Let's fast forward to the conversation when the
nigga, you was talking about Florence. I was talking about women.
We passed that. So what's the guy's name that came down was conversating with him from Arkansas? He was like, yo, y'all
the senator.
He was the
no,
but he was
the conversation. It was like y'all done went to California, smart, become one of the wealthiest black men in America. But then you had to get beside yourself and come to Texas and
mess up the social order thing.
Social order thing.
Yeah.
Y'all know how strong that statement is. Y'all know how crazy that statement is.
Merv, it was, and the reason in translation is y'all niggas ain't supposed to be getting no money in the South. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. Like,
Yeah.
take that shit out west, or take that shit up north. You really think you gonna come down here and make some money in Jim Crow? Nah, bruh. That's not how we get down here. That's pretty much what he was saying, and the guy was nonchalant about it. He was like, I know all about your people, and I recognize your struggle and all that, but y'all ain't about to be making no money down here in Jim Crow South. That's pretty much what he said.
Right.
Yeah, he was happy to say it. He said, y'all these got too uppity. That's where the word uppity comes from. Y'all got too uppity. Y'all was cool in LA. And what did Joe said to Bernard first? He's like, hold up, man. We already got what we good. We don't need to.
Yep.
You good. What is this social action thing?
Yeah, I feel like Joe
Bernard couldn't leave well enough alone, and I love it.
But he knew, yeah. Joe was a risk taker, but he knew when to back off. You know what I'm saying? And Bernard was like, nah, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. And he said, I knew this would happen. He's like, this would happen when people get rich. They get greedy, basically.
But and you know what, Tina, about that statement, I got what he was saying, but I don't think that any of Bernard's motive was fueled by greed. It just had to do with him flipping the script. Like his dad, this dude was told since he was a little boy, ain't no black man getting no money in the South. You got to deal with that. You get no money. You get no noodles. You get no nothing. Like Nico said on fucking Paid in Full, and he remembered that shit because he even mentioned it at one point. Like I've been hearing all my whole life that we ain't getting no money down here in the South, and a lot of it had to do with pride. I have no problem with Bernard's pride because that's why he wanted to come home and show them, look, I got the same brain that y'all got. Matter of fact, I'm smarter than y'all. I'm gonna show y'all that we can do this.
Yeah.
He definitely, Bernard definitely dealt with pride because that shit was funny as hell. That was one of my favorite scenes when Bernard had to put on the janitor uniform. And Samuel Jackson, what's his name? Joe walked in and said, see, I bet you wish you had picked the chauffeur costume now. Like, that shit was funny as hell to me. Like,
yeah. But how wild is that back during those times, could you imagine how many people that were actually doing those jobs as a janitor, as a chauffeur, as black people, but were absolute geniuses, but they were actually stuck in those jobs? That should happen more often than not back then.
Here's a little history fact too, real quick. That's exactly what black people did. You look at J.A. Rogers, even like who was the other the writer Langston Hughes. All these guys were the what's those train guys? Like they kind of like ushers for the trains. And they said they used to ear hustle all the businesses ideas, from wealthy white people. And this is well documented that matter of fact, I think they had a movie, I think it was called not Transport. What the hell those people called? But that's that method was used a lot by black people, and it took them a while to figure it out. That's why segregation was so hard. You gotta get the white only bathroom and all that. So I just want to throw that tidbit in,
I feel you.
Right. So I wanted to, if we could, I think we damn near covered the middle. We stuck hard on the middle. The middle was very important. But I want to definitely talk about something towards the end or whatever. I do agree with Stacks when he said, like, Bernard wasn't trying to be greedy, and I get that shit. He was trying to make a change. He was trying to show, that, black people deserve this. Black people can own stuff in Texas, this and the third. They did it. They proved it. It backfired, but they still proved it, that it can be done. I like the fact that Matt called him and had a one-on-one to tell him what he was facing and what should he do. That showed loyalty because he didn't have to do that or whatever. I like the scenes
He was
that they
facing
didn't
50
show.
years, by the way.
Yeah, right, 50 years.
Yeah.
I like the fact that
50 fucking years.
I was mad at Matt at first. When Matt took the stand, I was mad, like, oh, really? You about to pin everything on them when you're the one who made that decision? When you're the one who did this, stand the third, you trying to pin it on them? It was you who did that, not them. But the fact that he showed loyalty towards the end with that phone call to tell them, to tell Bernard what was really going down, I like that. And I like the fact that I was like, okay, when I heard about the favor that he did for Bernard, that was dope. My thing is this. You have to, a lot of times as a Black person, make a sacrifice in order for change. And Bernard and Joe did that. Because when you read the ending, when you read the endings, you see that 3 years after the fact, they changed the laws.
Fair Housing
about
Act.
renting out, and you can't deny. Right. And our people are afraid to do that, even today. Back then, they weren't. I'm gonna give it to our people back then. They stood. Even if they knew they was gonna lose or die or something, they weren't afraid to stand their ground. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of them. Today, 2021, you know how many people ain't doing that shit? They're not making no type sacrifice. They not standing.
It's not from fear,
that
though.
shit to make a change.
It's not from fear, though, Tina. That's why I agree with everything you said except fear. Today is selfishness. Back then.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Yeah, it's not fair.
Yeah, and make no mistake about it, y'all. Make no mistake about it. Matt Steiner was facing 50 years, not because of anything that had to do with unfair bank practices. He was facing 50 years for colluding with Black people for the advancement of their own people. That's what he was 50 fucking years. It's almost like, hey, if you don't dime these Negroes out, your ass going to jail for being as they called it back in the day, for being a nigger lover. You're going to jail for 50 fucking years. You talk about cruel and unusual punishment. 50 fucking years. Like they told him that. So like you said, Tina,
50 years was like a white lynching. See, Black people, you'll physically get lynched, but we're just going to throw these 50 years on you for the rest of your life as punishment, like because you just chose niggas over your own people. Like, yeah.
And that's what it was. And I got a lot of respect for.
But they doubt us, Stacks. They doubt us, Stacks, because we're fucking strong. You think that Black people can't? We done been in me personally, but our ancestors done been in chains and all that other shit. They done took whoopings with these fucking ropes and lashes, right? You don't think that these Black men couldn't do a bid real quick and come home? Mm-hmm. You really thought that was gonna break them? That's why we survivors. We survived that they put us through, and white people can't.
And that was the norm. And that was the norm back then. And all forms of Black progress, it comes from Black. It comes from Black pain. That's the root of it. Because Bernard Garrett could have easily just done exactly what the senator from Arkansas wanted him to do. Because it's the senator from Arkansas. Boy, Merv.
All their money.
Exactly.
All their money. Be free.
Mm-hmm.
But we learned early in that movie, even as a young boy copying down those notes for those formulas, we learned early in that movie that Bernard Garrett just simply wasn't built like that. He wasn't going to be stopped no matter what.
And Stacks, what
yeah.
During that kind of situation, what else normally happens? Well, more today, not really back then, but more today. If you got two Black people facing jail time,
somebody gonna take the cheese. They gonna snitch. They gonna rap. Absolutely. Somebody snitching.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But both of them was like, "Yo, we in this together. We made this decision." And both of them asked each other, "Yo, what you want to do? Are we gonna take the deal for both of us, or both of us gonna blah blah?" Like whatever decision made, that's what we're going with.
And that
You want to know why? You want to know why black people today will snitch on each other? Because if I go do this bid, are you going to help me during my bid? Are you going to put money on my books? Are you going to put money in my commissary? Are you going to take my phone calls? This and the third. When I come home, am I going to be good? See, that back then they made sure each other was good. In the industry, if you have money, you make sure that person is good when they come home because they took a bid for you. But now, no, black people, like, you gonna come home broke. Why should I do a bid for you and I'm gonna come home broke and struggling? You ain't gonna save me no money. You ain't gonna help me through this bid. So it's like, why should I do it? I'm not saying no snitching is okay. I'm not. But there is a reason why people do snitch. Who the fuck gonna take care of me? Y'all not gonna fucking take care of me. And it's true. They not gonna take care of them.
it takes tremendous courage, and people, you got to call it what it is, to go up against the United States government and give them your whole ass to kiss and let them know what the truth is. Because that senator from Arkansas, he had no idea that Bernard was just going to say what it is. And when he went into his whole spiel, the Arkansas senator kept warning them, like, I mean, in the beginning, he said, "Are you scared? You know the stakes here." And he said that he said something to the extent the documents the founders made, said that all men were, created equal, and their pursuit to, for life, liberty, and happiness, but that just don't apply to all races. And they're looking up like, okay, this nigga really ain't just about to do what we think he about to do. So they say, you might want to tread carefully. He's like, I'll just start with this, the uniform. And he's like, oh, I'm not finished. And the most important, man, what he said, and it's still a question to me for today, not so much as it was back then, but he said, why is it so important for you to exclude an entire race of people from the American dream? And that was a very, very fair question. They had no answer for it. What they did, they silenced him, called the sergeant at arms to just take him out of there. And for that, he received that bid. Joe Morris received that bid. But at the end of it, like you said, Tina, that's how the Fair Housing Act came about. And that's Black progress.
Hey, did y'all catch the end when he's going to testify, and his lawyer was like, "What's he doing? He don't have his glasses on." And Joe and his wife was like, "Oh yeah, he don't need his glasses." Like, what do you mean? He never needed his glasses.
Yep. He wear that shit to be less of a threat. I think I caught that.
That's why
I caught that shit.
I don't need my glasses. I'll be wearing them too. These computer guys. They try to look less of a threat,
And Joe mentioned that towards the beginning of the movie when they had to sit down, and he was like, "I want you to take your glasses off," and he was like, "Why do I need to take my glasses off?" He's like, "So I can see your face."
Are you farsighted or you nearsighted? Yep.
For what? He said, I just want to see how you look without your glasses on.
I commend Joe for riding with Bernard, because Joe could have sat his ass in California.
Joe was good.
Joe was all good.
Yep.
Hey, Bernard had to convince him to go to Texas to buy that bank. He was like, "Look, motherfucker, just move your father out here." And I think any of us, if we was put in that same situation, whereas we couldn't unlock wealth potential in the South, and you can make your mom's rich by simply moving her. Oh, we moving to Beverly like the fucking Clampets and the fucking Beverly Hillbillies. That's what I'm doing. I ain't afraid to say it.
And they didn't know nothing about banking. They didn't know nothing about banking. You know all real estate. You don't know nothing about banking.
And we tend to judge people too. And you see how he judged Joe in the beginning. He just looked at Joe as this, flashy drunk surrounded by women that got money. But he was
same way y'all niggas judge me.
I mean, there's no shaking that. You're so ignorant as fuck. I mean, so yeah, ain't no shaking that. Ain't nobody gonna come back and say, you know what, Merv? When I first saw you, I thought you was an ignorant motherfucker. Ain't gonna be no but after that. I'm gonna just say, yeah, that's what I thought when I first saw you. No change. You know, that's pretty much how that shit could go down. But you got to come in, Joe, for riding with him till the very end, because Joe could have said, you know what, man? When he said, you know what, I'll just find somebody to partner with me, Joe could have said, well, motherfucker, go ahead. Shit, I'm good. I already got a bank. You already helped me get a bank here in California. Why the fuck would I go to Jim Crow, Texas, and partner with you?
He saw the fight. He saw the fight. He saw the potential, and he had no choice but to believe in him and ride that wave. Absolutely. And a lot of us today don't do that with each other. We're not fighting. We're not believing. We're not trusting. We're not, and that's a huge downfall. But I get it. So many people have been crossed, deceived. They put their trust, their money into somebody, and they got fucked. And I get it. I get why it's so hard for us to trust one another. So it's like, crazy. Yo, I think we're more fucked up now than they were back then. Back then, they
absolutely.
Now,
absolutely.
And the other thing with Joe, the other good thing why I gotta give Joe credit for is where Barrett was trying to be. Joe done been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? That's how he would tell him certain shit that's going to happen. Certain shit is going to happen. Certain challenges we got to deal with. And he was like, damn, you still.
And Merv, because Joe alluded to the fact that you're going to change when you get rich. And it's not like he became snobbish or greedy. His ambition grew. Bernard's ambition grew once he got rich. Now, it was well-placed ambition because he was trying to go back to Texas and get them banks just to show motherfuckers, look, I'm black, but I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna win as a black man in my hometown and get these banks.
Yeah,
and buying old fucking banks. Now we don't even think about buying banks in 2021. These motherfuckers is talking about buying banks.
Remember, it's different. It's different now because they bought the building that the banks was leasing. Nowadays, the banks own the building now, so they can't get crossed. You know, so all that came from them. Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to the women part again because we play a part in this movie, but people don't see it. His wife played a part too. She was his motivation. She was his backbone.
Absolutely.
She told him, and she introduced him to Joe. She did that. She brought that connection together.
His wife, if you look up in the dictionary the definition of a woman fully supporting her man, you see a picture of fucking Eunice fucking Garrett in that motherfucker because, like, even when her uncle, what do your husband have against working? Like, I would just let you know right now, my man is a fucking genius, and you gonna see. She said that to her uncle.
Hey,
he's a genius, and you gonna see.
Speaking of wife, can we give my goddamn childhood movie sweetheart some motherfucking love for still looking so motherfucking good in this motherfucking movie, even her motherfucking age?
Still bad. You're right. She's still bad. She's still bad. And I know she 50
she's
or
still bad.
She's still bad. She's still bad.
Hell yeah. I still fuck him.
Yeah,
so
get your boy.
Even though they took an L, they won. They were smart enough to know how. They were smart enough to to use the rest of the money that they had before they got taken to buy them houses in Bahamas. They were smart. That's how you move. You don't do all that shit for no reason. That's like niggas hustling in the street and don't got no bail money, don't got no lawyer money.
Right.
So you know
you're right.
Don't got no money to get you out of the jail.
You're right.
Like, what kind of shit?
And he trained up another brother. Remember the brother at the end?
He did. His was it his cousin or his cousin? His cousin. Yeah.
Wasn't that his son?
No, that was his cousin.
No, we talking about his.
Oh yeah, it was cousin. His cousin. His
by
cousin,
marriage.
The cousin, the one who
by
brought
marriage.
in the cousin is the one who brought in Matt to work originally for $150 hours.
Matt.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the cousin. Yep.
But I mean, I gotta, and here's what I want to do. I want to give it up to the. I mean, Matt is. I consider Matt a white ally because Matt could have pretty much said, "Well, shit, I'm white. I mean, all I got to do is tell the truth and not get these 50 years and go on with my life." He did not have to call Bernard and make that deal to where, look, I know I fucked this up. I'm gonna go ahead. They don't know about all the money, so I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all houses down there in the Bahamas. He did not have to do that. That's why I said Matt was, even though he was overly ambitious and he got fucking hoodwinked by his wife to fucking do all that shit. In the end, he said, you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and get y'all these houses. Use this money that they haven't taken from y'all yet to get these houses down there in the Bahamas, so you guys can be set up once you get out. So
now, what happened to Matt at the end? Did he got a job, right?
Matt was good. Matt was good money. I forgot what they said happened to him, but I
forgot. I'm trying to read because they put it in the words. Matt did something, but because Bernard and Joe went to jail. Joe got out before Bernard. Matt, I don't know what they did. What they did, Matt didn't go to jail at all.
No,
I think
not
they
at
just
all.
said
So you're right. Mo Chris, all they said about Matt was that he did no time. They didn't say what his
what happened
was. They just say he did no time. So
man, they probably gave him a job.
I would have liked to know,
right?
Did they keep the bond after they came out? That's what I would have liked to know, or did they really just part ways?
Even if they
what he wanted. He got the bank after it was all said and done, and he got it at a fraction for what it was worth. Like that, these racist motherfuckers always manage to land on their fucking feet. Because I did see a little caption where he was able to buy the bank or some shit like that. Like he got over on ultimately owning that damn bank.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Did.
Oh, so he just ended up keeping his bank at the end.
Look.
Yeah, but he got it at a discounted rate because they closed the bitch down.
Mm-hmm.
But he got it at a discounted rate.
Oh, he had to buy back his own bank, basically.
Yeah, but he got it pennies on dollars or some shit like that. He got it at a discount.
He got their shit the same way that the fucking Irish man wife got her shit, like 25 cents to $1 kind of shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Same fucking way. Like this movie right here, man, it was a lot of nuggets that could be taken from this movie, man. Like you got a lot of inspirational moments, a lot of work ethic moments. Like you can see him as a boy taking the extra time to learn a craft that he was able to turn into a business and make money. Later you see the two brothers helping each other out. Even when they got to the point, and here's the other thing we didn't talk about, but how many times you see two brothers, or black people come up, and once they come up, when they don't really need each other, they fall the fuck out. You really kind of see how the core one feel about the other, because now it's like I got money, I don't need you no more, and the fallout. These motherfuckers had money and still stayed the best of friends, still stayed business partners, still had each other back. Man, it was just a lot of feel good stuff in this movie that you could take away from, even through the racism, and the classism in this movie. Mm-hmm. It was a really good, feel good, lighthearted, inspirational black movie, in my opinion.
Well, Merv, I'm gonna take it a step further. One of my favorite parts of the movie.
That's because they stayed humble. They stayed humble. It wasn't no jealousy. It wasn't no I'm better than you or whatever. It wasn't no competition. They learned from each other and they stayed humble. And that's what we need today.
I agree, Tina. One of my most impressive parts of the movie was where he bought the bank And the first thing he did was he got together all those black leaders in his community when he bought the bank in Texas. And he said, look, pretty much the meeting was, yo, I'm putting y'all on. We putting our people on. So we can build, I'm gonna give out these loans so we can build businesses, so we can get each other the bag. And that's in the 2021 lingo. Hey, I got this bank. I ain't get it for me. I got it for everybody. Everybody gonna eat. Everybody eats, Pete. Everybody eats.
Everybody
That's
eats.
pretty much. Yeah. Hey yo. Hey yo, Merv. Real talk. When he had that meeting with those guys and just telling them, look, we are exclusively loaning money to our people so they can build wealth. I think that's the term that he absolutely used, and that's a testament to Bernard Garrett's tenacity and his well placed pride to advance his people. That's my feel good moment in the wrap up of the movie Against All Costs.
Hey, Stacks, them motherfuckers approved 15 black loans in the first 7 days.
Absolutely, I loved it. I fucking loved it. Hey, I fucking loved every minute of it. Hey, Florence so hating ass. He was mad as shit.
I definitely I like the movie. I like how it ended. I like how they bounced back from that L. I love the change that took place after they took that L. I love how his wife rolled with him. She was happy. We moving to the Bahamas. We don't know shit about the Bahamas, but we got houses in the Bahamas. We about to be on this island and live it up. There was a small scene that I actually do like. It was bad, but I liked it. And that's when the barbecue spot they vandalized the barbecue spot. And said the sign, they wrote over the sign that said nigga something.
Nigga own business.
But I still loved how the owner did not let that get to him. He's like, I'll have it down by tomorrow. And he was scrubbing that wall like, I'm not gonna
a legit business. They can't even let us have. They couldn't even let us have that back then. Nothing illegal, a legitimate business, and you gonna paint that shit, boy. Bruh, I gotta give it up to our ancestors, bruh, because that strength and all that shit, man. You got people that say that old bullshit. We are not our ancestors. No, we not. They built different. They fucking built different. We can only hope that we can have that strength. We can only hope that we have that strength. We can only hope that we have that strength and courage to put it all on the line and just be called the N-word and just wipe that shit off your wall and keep your fucking business going. So you're right, people that say that bullshit. We are not our ancestors. They are better than we are.
Like I said, I was saying they love our food because throughout the movie, every time they met at that spot, somebody be like, damn, this barbecue spot is good. This barbecue food is good. They made little shit like that. They kept saying that.
In fact, yeah. Sean, I'm trying to tell you, man. And the thing you say that, like the shit that Bernard Garrett did, the senator pretty much told him, motherfucker, if you don't say exactly what I want you to say, your ass is going to jail.
Yep.
And it's you know what? Fuck you. I'ma let these motherfuckers know what it really is. And you're right, Sean. I would have been like, look, man, yeah, I took advantage of the lax laws and whatever else y'all want me to say. I'ma say that shit. But this motherfucker say, nah, fuck y'all, fuck this crooked ass system, and I'll take the time.
Barrett deserves all the credit that's been said to him in this podcast. But y'all, we not showing Joe enough motherfucking love. How many times?
You're right.
How many times somebody black make it, and you ask them to help you out, and be like, nah, I'm good. Or you ask them to take a chance on you, and be like, nah, I'm good. Or even if they help you out, with limitations. You make it, and be like, yo, I want to do something bigger. Be like, nah, you on your own. Like, this motherfucker was good.
You bugging.
You didn't need Barrett at all.
Joe was my favorite person. Joe was my favorite person in the entire show. In the entire movie, Joe was my favorite.
So we gotta give Joe.
And I'm Merv, you're right, and we gotta go back to one of their first encounters where Joe told him, "I like to see black men succeed. There's just not enough of us saying that these days," and that's why Joe rolled for him. Joe told him, "Hey, I ain't got no anger with no shit like that. I ain't trying to fuck your wife. I just like seeing black men succeed."
That part was funny.
It was.
Hey,
It was.
I'm not trying to. Hey man, I'm not fucking wife. He said, "Oh, so you gotta go around and give all your patients that goddamn security." Like, nah, I gotta skip a couple. I gotta skip some of these motherfuckers.
And Merv, and the thing is, it's like one of our homeboys. I'm gonna tell you all a short story, man. And I mean, it might not be huge, but I think this is worthy of saying. One of me and her Merv homeboys. Me and Merv was chilling in my house, watching some sports and shit like that. And our homeboy Jay called us up, and this may be small, but he called us up, and he had got the new Tesla, right? And he brought the shit up. He said, "Come outside, man." And he brought it out. You would have thought that me and Merv had a Tesla because we was cheerleading. I'm like, "Oh, this shit is hot. We got this shit rolling around." And we was like, man, and we were so fucking happy. And the shit wasn't ours. I do not know why black people haven't figured that shit out yet. We need to celebrate all of our wins. We need to celebrate each other's wins like we winning along with you. Even though we ain't about to. I'm trying to tell you, man. I hate the damn. I'm just saying, man. We need to. The way we felt that day, you would think that he had like 2 more Teslas out there, one for me, one for Merv, but it might be small, but we were celebrating that brother's victory, man. His hard work, perseverance, and all that shit. And I think that's very important. I think that's very fucking important to celebrate each other's victory and victories and put each other on where you can.
I want to take a Tina approach, far as speaking from the pay attention to the wife, because Eunice needs some love too, because she got with this nigga when he didn't have anything, and through the come up, she's put him through the come up. And even when he didn't have a job, they're looking for a business. When there was a struggle, she defended him to her family. And she told him, like, yo,
my man, genius.
either we got to make this happen, or we got to go to this connect that I got. But I got you.
Yep.
But you got to decide. You either want to dance.
And she said,
and she was willing to work.
Said, I shouldn't
be
with you. Everybody said I shouldn't be with you. Everybody thought that you was weird or some other shit. And she's like, no matter what, I'ma love you any fucking way.
And like love is a beautiful thing.
He testified.
And she even with her status, she was willing to go inside that bank dressed in a fucking maid uniform just to monitor Matt as he was heading to the bank. Because Matt was don't get it twisted. Matt was never in charge of that bank. Fucking Eunice was the real, was the overseer, no pun intended, when that motherfucker was supposedly in charge of that bank. I mean, let's just keep it 100 here. Because when he did his little introduction and, was really, really glad to be a part of this team, he went to that door and she was in the fucking, she was in the maid's uniform. I was like, oh, yeah. He's just the face of the company, but she running all of this shit right here. Yeah, I love that shit. I love it.
Yeah, man. We gotta give up to this movie. It's also a good positive movie. I like this movie because it also showed 2 black men in business, and oftentimes we are told not to do business with each other, or something like that because of all these bad stigmas. Well, we can, and this shows a great business relationship. It shows a mind, and it shows another guy that knows how to move, and how these 2 guys complemented each other so well and was able to accomplish so much. So that's my biggest take from the movie.
Bet. So I think that's it, right, Merv? Good show.
Yeah.
Good show.
I'm waiting. I paused stacks because I was just waiting for. I was waiting to see those nails. I was waiting to see those nails come up and be like, hold up, just one more thing.
Oh man, but real good show,
But nah,
y'all.
it was a good show. Good movie. I feel like we covered everything. We covered all the characters. We covered all the different situations. We talked about even current situations that's related to the movie. Like I watched this movie. I've watched this movie several times, and it's a movie that I could. Hey, what's up? What's up, D?
Say hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, she thinks she can see.
Oh, okay.
Let her be great.
And we
My
love
bad.
just
Get them while
and
they
we let the
young.
viewers, we let the viewers know that we love the kids. We do.
My bad. I couldn't stop her. So
Nah, you good. Black. Well, I mean, hey. It's all love. It's all love. We
That
don't
was
want to let the
cute.
kids
She
up in
made
here.
the moment.
Hey, this is a family owned podcast, so we're able to do that. This is a black owned family podcast.
It really is. It's black on. It's black on. But
yeah,
you know,
I watched this movie several times, and I just enjoyed the movie, man. Like real shit. After I watched this movie, it got my own business owner wheels turning even more than it would have already has been turning, because I got a business called Diesel Associates. I do insurance. I provide insurance, resume, career consultant, lawn care
Hold
business.
on, Merv. I need you to put me on. You gonna put me on, Merv, or you gonna turn me down? Oh,
got you. Hey,
man, she put you on.
I'll be your Joe.
See, that's that shit. You see that laugh, y'all?
I'll be your Joe.
That's what the fuck he just did.
Hey, you got. I'm like Samuel Jackson character. I'm gonna talk shit while I put you on. Hey, Joe said, I don't want your wife, even though you think I do. Now, what do you think I want?
It's like, hey, Merv, he was like, hey, what do you want? You mean besides your wife? Yo, that fucker was out of pocket.
Yeah, he was too real.
He absolutely plugged his own business, Sean. But I mean, what could you expect from a scumbag? I mean, you expect nothing else. He's a scumbag. This is scumbag behavior. I don't know why you surprised. So continue, Merv, with the scumbaggery.
I'm a travel agent. These are the associates.
Yeah, he got more jobs to make.
I want a free trip, nigga. I know you. I want a free trip.
Hey, real. Oh, see, Merv. What? The black people always want free shit and a discount. See. Hey, yo. I got halfway through this movie, and the first thing I did was call Merv. And the reason I called Merv because Merv always got some shit going on. Like he said, he got a lot of businesses and shit like that. I'm like, hey man, you take the lead on this shit because this I was halfway through it and I was locked in. I'm like, man, I really fucking enjoy this shit. And this shit just screams your type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like businesses and just, doing whatever despite what motherfuckers saying, all that shit. So I really enjoyed it. And it got my wheels spinning as well, man. I want to damn, I would like to I need to get my shit off the ground. I need to do something. It made me want to damn get out there and take that risk and start my own shit. You know what I'm saying? Some way, shape, or form,
Yo, you see my face right now with Sean's comment? Like, fuck out of here with that shit, bro.
Yo, But we got anything? Hey, we're gonna talk
I'm
about
really listening.
what
I'm
we.
sitting here and I'm listening to Stacks, and Stacks is motivating me and shit. I'm listening to Stacks with the motivation and shit, and then I look up and I
Got
see
you.
that bullshit.
Just ignore that shit and feed off my energy. You know I got that good energy. You know that good energy. But we coming right back tomorrow. It's the Guy podcast like we always do on Wednesday. Merv, what we got tomorrow? And I'm gonna let you go ahead and let us know what we got going on tomorrow, man. Hey, Sean, shout out to Sean for setting the mood to let us know what we talking about tomorrow. I'm gonna let Merv explain that shit because Sean is like he's I guess he's in the theatrics and shit like that because he showed us a little video in the chat saying, man, what y'all think about this video? And me, I'm an asshole. I'm like, man, what the fuck is going on with this old ass video, man? And he was like, yeah, it's good to point that out, but I just wanted to paint a picture and all type of bullshit like that. But bro, tell these motherfuckers what we talking about tomorrow. My bad, Sean. I know you out there listening. We love you, man. You know we love you. You my boy. Go ahead, Merv. Let them know what we talking about tomorrow.
Y'all fucking stupid, bro. But nah, the movie. But nah, what we're talking about tomorrow is called, the title is called Mr. Wrong. And that is a broad title, but everything we want to talk, we can talk about several things, but everything that we want to talk about is going to be related to Mr. Wrong. The subtitle is Bad Boys Ain't No Good, ? And Good Boys Ain't No Fun. So that's the topic and subtopic that's going to derive everything that we're talking about. We got a lot to unpack tomorrow, but the title is Mr. Wrong and everything from that.
And I'm gonna say, I'm also add to that, Merv. Some of you may be hit dogs tomorrow. I'm sorry for that, but we're gonna tell you about yourselves. I mean, because that's what we do here at the Guys. And we're gonna also motivate you, and we're gonna also pick you up off the ground to where you in the slums with that bad guy that you just feel as though could be I'm gonna leave that for tomorrow. But hit dogs, it's okay to holler tomorrow because you're gonna have to holler because you're gonna some shit that we gonna go over. That's probably gonna break the nerve.
And that's gonna derive into the females as well.
Yo. Hey, yo, before we get up out of here, though, man, Sean crazy shit, man. Before we get up out of here, we want to shout out YouTube. We want to shout out Facebook Live. We want to shout out 1 Mile High Radio. We definitely want to shout out Zingle TV, Blackjack 199. Bobby Blackjack, come through. Your homeboy. We shout out to the viewers, man. Like Sean always said, man, if we can get one person just to listen, that's enough for us, man, because we do it for the viewers. We don't do it for the fucking Vine and all the fame and all that shit. But we can get one person to listen, man. We could change some lives and get people just, having these tough conversations and changing lives, man. That's what we're here for, man. And we love it. We here for it. I think that's it, y'all. Another good show. Until next time. And next week we coming back. Marc gonna be back. The Philly guy, he gonna be back. What we doing? What we start with next week, Merv, before we leave?
We start with Snowfall. We start season 4, episode 1, Snowfall next week, next Tuesday. Franklin Saint up in this motherfucker. We're gonna see what Franklin gonna do. How he come back from that last season episode.
Absolute. So no further ado, man, we gonna ride out, man. We gonna call it a night. We see y'all tomorrow, 8 p.m. I salute you, gentlemen and lady.